We're going to pick up part two of space management, and we're going to talk about the space management system with the acronym of SEE. S-E-E. What would you guess that S stands for? S stands for search. And what does it mean to search? You're searching for objects or conditions, other roadway users or conditions. After you search, and that's why we're in the car, the instructors. We're there to help you search. It's hard for an inexperienced driver to operate a car, plus search. And then the next part of the E is evaluate. And that's what we're doing all the time too as instructors. We're evaluating the projected path ahead for alternate paths of travel, check to the sides, or rear for speed and lane position options. And then the last E is execute. Execute appropriate adjustments, change speed, position, and or communicate. Okay, we're going to watch video 54.1, which is searching ahead.
Out on the road, the single biggest cause of crashes is drivers running into things they can't see, like a car coming from the side, a pedestrian stepping into the street, someone passing, even the car just ahead. Why can't they see? Do they need glasses? No. The reason they can't see is that they just aren't looking in the right place at the right time. The process of looking is referred to as visual search. It means that seeing well is more than simply taking in the highway scene. It requires actively searching places where trouble lurks. Experienced drivers learn the trouble spots by getting into them, and mostly getting out of them. But the best way to handle trouble spots is to avoid them in the first place. That's what this part of the course is all about.
We spend most of our time looking ahead. We couldn't keep the car on the road if we didn't. But do we always really see what's ahead? This is one of the two biggest causes of crashes. About a fifth of all crashes, including 700,000 injuries, result from not paying enough attention to what's ahead. Sometimes drivers are too busy talking with others in the car, or outside the car, or they're just daydreaming. Whatever the reason, just an instant's lack of attention can mean and everything that goes with a crash, like out-of-sight insurance premiums and possible loss of license. Throughout this course, you'll be tested on where you're looking and what you're looking at, in the video and in the car. Looking ahead is only a part of it. How far ahead is another. Beginning drivers tend to focus on the road just in front of the car. That doesn't give us much time to react. And even if we manage to react in time, what about the guy behind us? Keeping our eyes focused well down the road gives us a heads up on what's happening and lets us come to a gradual, even stop.
In addition to letting us drive safely, looking well down the road can help keep us moving. For example, seeing that bus stopped ahead lets us make a smooth lane change. And away we go. If we hadn't noticed the bus until we came up behind it, we'd have had to wait for following traffic to pass before we could pull out. Seeing those hazard lights up ahead gives us time to make a smooth lane change. And seeing that yellow light up ahead gives us time to come to a smooth stop. Looking ahead includes scanning the areas to either side of the road. Whoops, that was a close one. Let's go back.
If we saw that white car disappear behind the minivan, we could figure the driver might not see us and might make a right on red. What's at the side of the road now may be in it in a minute, like that truck pulling away very slowly. Seeing it up ahead gives us a chance to adjust. Here's someone else who may shortly be in our path.
Seeing signs early also helps. Seeing that sign lets us slow down and slide in behind the van, rather than being stuck when the lane comes to an end.
How far ahead do we need to look? As a general rule, we should be looking far enough ahead to give ourselves ample time to adjust to whatever we see. If we are looking at least 15 seconds ahead, we should have time to adjust to whatever we see. Here on a city street, that's about 1 block. Out here in the open road, traveling at 55, that's about 1/4 of a mile. Unfortunately, roads don't have little lines showing us where 15 seconds starts. We just need to have a picture in our mind's eye. One way to get that picture is this. When we're driving down the road, pick a point in the distance like that sign and start counting to 15. 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004, 1005, 1006, 1007, 1008, 1009, 1010, 1011, 1012, 1013, 1014, 1015. If we reach the point before we reach 1015, we need to look further ahead.
We can't always make out things 15 seconds away, like that warning sign.
We couldn't really see that pedestrian until he was fairly close. The main thing is to look far enough ahead to be able to adjust early and gradually to what we can see. Okay, let's take a drive and see what we can see. In each scene, there will be something up ahead we'll need to react to. The picture will stop at that point and we'll be asked what we saw.
So what did we see here? That orange construction sign was easy, but you had to be looking well ahead to see the flashing arrows.
And what did we see here?
The flashers told us the car was stopped and we'd have to change lanes. So let's keep going.
And what here?
Right, a vehicle blocking the left lane ahead.
What about now? Here's a double-barreled search task. We need to see up ahead and to the side at the same time. There's no trick to that, or is there? Go ahead. Focus our eyes on the oncoming car. Don't let them move. If we stay strictly focused on the oncoming car, we can't see the one on the right. Yes, we can tell that something is there, but we can't make out that it's a car unless we shift our eyes. Research shows that if we are staring at something ahead, we can't really see things even a few degrees to either side. That's why our eyes need to move from side to side all the time while we are driving. Just before the scene ended, What did we see that required our attention?
The oncoming car could start its turn before we get there. The truck could make a right on red, or someone could get out of a parked car. In a shopping area, those parked cars could hide a lot of trouble.
Look well down the road, search from side to side, but always be looking ahead. Look away only when we have to, and then
So let's do a video review. What is the single biggest cause of crashes out on the road? And the answer is drivers running into things they can't see. That's why it's so important to properly search. What is the process of looking and what does it mean? Visual search means that seeing well is more than taking in the highway scene, actively searching places where trouble lurks. What does keeping our eyes focused well down the road help with? Far enough ahead to give ourselves ample time to adjust at least 12 seconds ahead. Unfortunately, we're not going to do a group activity. We're going to do a online virtual activity, I guess. And things we're going to talk about is when searching, where do you look? When do you search? What are you looking for? And what are some eye habits that will help you help the vehicle control? So where are you searching? You look three different locations: mirrors, instrument panel, 20 to 30 seconds ahead. The problem with most new drivers is they, especially on the first drive, if you guys have done some of your drives yet, all you do is look straight ahead so you don't crash and look at the speedometer. Straight ahead speedometer. You don't look the other places. The most important place is 20 to 30 seconds ahead. And then it is your mirrors. And then it's the instrument panel. New drivers focus too much at the instrument panel. You look at the speedometer way too much. Once you become more comfortable driving, you will look at the speedometer when you change speeds, not every 2 minutes to verify. You'll be able to feel that you're maintaining your speed. Searching, look ahead, to the sides, and behind the vehicle. Intend to travel a path main area of the focus. Searching the roadside gives you additional traffic clues. Keep your eyes active. Searching to the sides. Make sure roadway users will not cross your travel path. Before entering an intersection, look to the front, left, and right. Look behind you. Help avoid collisions when conditions change suddenly. You want to make sure you look in the rearview mirror if you have to brake. We talked about that in previous lessons. Check mirrors and look over the shoulders to check blind spots. When we talked about lane changes, 1, 2, 3. When to search. It involves timing and direction of the search pattern. Requires consciously looking to determine conditions all around the vehicle before initiating any maneuver. How to search. I'm going to go over a lot of numbers, and I'm going to give you 4 sets of numbers that will help you for the test. And if you can remember them, they are 20, 12, 4, 3. Now, 20, 12, 4, 3. Voila. See, with technology, I can pause it and put it up there. The 4 numbers I want you to know are 20 seconds, how far you should look ahead. 20 seconds is your bubble. You got to deal with it. 4 seconds is braking following distance when you're going over 45 miles per hour. Test question. And 3 seconds is braking under 45. So if you think about that, that will help you with all the numbers. You got 20 to 30, 12 to 15, 8 to 12, 4 to 8. Those are all. Stick with my 4 numbers, 20, 12, 4, 3, and that will help you. What to search for. You're looking for signs, signals, and markings, roadway characteristics, motorized vehicles, non-motorized highway users. IHAB is for vehicle control. Picture intended path of travel. Look down the middle of the path. Look far ahead. Search habits for identification. Search the scene ahead and to the sides. Search the road surface. Scan the mirrors and dash. All right, we're going to watch.
Of course, you saw the stop sign and started slowing. Okay. Check to the left. Okay. Check to the right. We need to wait a second. Okay, it's safe to go. Where did he come from? Well, let's see it again. We looked left and no one was coming. Then we checked to the right.
But as we were waiting for that car, look who pulled out of a driveway and came up the street.
Not seeing cars at intersections is one of the 2 biggest causes of car crashes, along with not seeing what's happening ahead. We acted correctly by checking to our left first. That's the first path of traffic we have to cross. And then we check to the right for the next path we'll have to cross. But we should never, make that never ever, start to cross a path of traffic without checking for traffic as we do it. Right turns are a bit easier than crossing an intersection. We only have to worry about cars from one direction. This time we can go. Or can we? Traffic includes pedestrians as well as automobile traffic. At a stop sign, we're required to yield to pedestrians as well as cars. We want to cross this street. What do? The safest thing to do is wait until traffic clears. But we can't always do that. The next best thing is to edge slowly forward. Anyone coming in the far lane can see us in time to signal. When we have a clear view, we can move out. We've seen what trouble we can get into when we enter someone else's path at an intersection. What about when someone does it to us? With no traffic light, the only thing that keeps him from pulling out is seeing us. By keeping a sharp eye out, we could see that he wasn't even looking our way.
Same thing here. With that driver looking to his left, we couldn't count on his seeing us.
Any place with a lot of pedestrian traffic bears watching. The same is true where there are kids.
It's worth taking a quick look any place someone may enter our path, even when the other driver has a red light.
Close to 50,000 people are hurt each year when someone runs a red light.
This driver did a good job in looking down the road and recognizing that the car ahead would have to stop. But he goofed by not looking to his right before starting a lane change. If he had been using his mirrors, he'd have seen that car start its own lane change and start passing us. It's a good idea to check our mirrors frequently to know what's happening behind us.
Sometimes it will alert us to people we'd just as soon not be there. Or people that may be hard to see after they've come alongside us. Keeping an eye on developments behind us is a way of avoiding surprises.
Another time that we need to check behind us is when we slow down suddenly. We can see that car slowing, but the driver behind may not be able to. Or he may be momentarily distracted and not notice what's happening ahead. We're planning to turn into a driveway up ahead, But the driver behind us might think that our signal means that we'll turn at the intersection beyond and not expect us to slow suddenly. We'll talk about how to handle these situations in the next lesson. But before we can react to danger from behind, we need at least to see it, which means checking behind any time we have to slow suddenly. What do we do next?
We expect that a passing car may pull into the deceleration lane and block our path.
We're turning right at this intersection. When can we start the turn? You knew he was there, right? We've seen how important it is to look ahead, to the side, and behind.
Video review, video 542. What is one of the two biggest causes of car crashes? The answer is not seeing cars at intersections, not properly searching. What should you do before crossing an intersection? Always look left, right, left. Look to the front, left, right, left. Left, right, left. When is it important to check our mirrors to see what is happening behind us? When changing lanes, when stopping, when slowing down suddenly. Okay, the end.